The Bourne Supremacy is a 2004 American-German action and spy film starring Robert Ludlum's Jason Bourne character. Though it takes the name of the second Bourne novel, its plot is entirely different. The film was directed by Paul Greengrass from a screenplay by Tony Gilroy. Gotcha! Is a 1985 comedy action film, starring Anthony Edwards and Linda Fiorentino and directed by Jeff Cannu, who also directed Anthony Edwards in Revenge of the Nerds in 1984. Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London is an action comedy film and the sequel to the 2003 film Agent Cody Banks, and was released in the United States on March 12, 2004. Frankie Muniz was the only major returning star, with Hannah Sport playing the love interest and Anthony Anderson as the sidekick. Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle is a 2003 American action comedy film. It is the sequel to 2000's Charlie's Angels. It opened in the United States on June 27, 2003, and was number 1 at the box office for that weekend, also making a worldwide total of $259. Deadlier Than the Male is a 1967 British crime and mystery film featuring the character of Bulldog Drummond. It is one of the many takeoffs of James Bond produced during the 1960s, but is based on an established detective fiction hero. Agent Cody Banks is a 2003 American action comedy film directed by Harold Swart. Its story follows the adventures of the 15-year-old title character, played by Frankie Muniz, who has to finish his chores, avoid getting grounded, and save the world by going undercover for the CIA as a James Bond-type super spy. Spy Hard is a 1996 American spy comedy film parody starring Leslie Nielsen and Nicolette Sheridan, parodying James Bond films and other action films. The introduction to the movie is sung by comedy artist Weird Al Yankovic. True Lies is a 1994 American action comedy film written and directed by James Cameron, and starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis in the lead roles with Tom Arnold, Bill Paxton, Eliza Dushku, Grant Heslov and Charlton Heston in supporting roles. I Spy is a 2002 American spy comedy film starring Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson. The film was directed by Betty Thomas, and based on the television series of the same name that aired in the 1960s and starred Robert Culp and Bill Cosby. Die Another Day is the 20th spy film in the James Bond series, and the fourth and last film to star Pierce Brosnan as the fictional MI6 agent James Bond. The film follows Bond as he leads a mission to North Korea, during which he is betrayed and, after seemingly killing a rogue North Korean colonel, is captured and imprisoned. On Her Majesty's Secret Service is the sixth spy film in the James Bond series, based on the 1963 novel of the same name by Ian Fleming. Following the decision of Sean Connery to retire from the role after You Only Live Twice, Eon Productions selected an unknown actor and model, George Lazenby, to play the part of James Bond. The Tuxedo is a 2002 American comedy-action film directed by Kevin Donovan and starring Jackie Chan and Jennifer Love Hewitt. It is a spy spoof that involves a special tuxedo that grants its wearer special abilities and a corporate terrorist threatening to poison the United States freshwater supply with bacteria that spills electrolytes into the blood and totally dehydrates the host. XXX, pronounced Triple X, is a 2002 American action film directed by Rob Cohen and starring Vin Diesel as Xander Cage, a thrill-seeking extreme sports enthusiast, stuntman and rebellious athlete turned reluctant spy for the National Security Agency who is sent on a dangerous mission to infiltrate a group of potential Russian terrorists in Central of Europe. Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine is a 1965 American International Pictures comedy film directed by Norman Tall and starring Vincent Price, Frankie Avalon, Dwayne Hickman, Susan Hart and Jack Melanie and featuring Fred Clark. Condorman is a 1981 American adventure, comedy superhero film from Walt Disney Productions starring Michael Crawford, Barbara Carrera and Oliver Reed. Inspired by Robert Sheckley's The Game of X, the movie follows comic book illustrator Woodrow Wilkins' attempts to assist in the defection of a female Soviet KGB agent. Spy Kids is a 2001 American, Mexican science fantasy family adventure film written and directed by Robert Rodriguez. It is the first installment in the Spy Kids series. Alexa Vega and Daryl Sabora played the lead roles while Antonio Banderas, Carla Gugino, Alan Cumming, Terry Hatcher, Cheech Marin, Danny Trejo, Robert Patrick and Tony Shalhoub appeared in supporting roles. If Looks Could Kill is a 1991 American action comedy spy film directed by William Dear and stars Richard Grieco. Never Too Young to Die is a 1986 B-movie, starring John Stamos as a Lance Stargrove, a young man who, with the help of secret agent Danja Deering, must avenge the death of his secret agent father at the hands of the evil hermaphrodite Velvet von Ragnar. The Nude Bomb is a 1980 comedy film based on the television series Get Smart. It stars Don Adams as Maxwell Smart, Agent 86, and was directed by Clive Donner. It was retitled The Return of Maxwell Smart for television. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery is a 1997 American action comedy film and the first installment of the Austin Powers series. It was directed by Jay Roach and written by Mike Myers, who also starred as both the titular character Austin Powers and main antagonist Drive. Our Man Flint is a 1966 American action film that parodies the James Bond genre. The film was directed by Daniel Mann, written by Hal Finberg and Ben Starr, and starring James Coburn as Master Spy Derek Flint. The Silencers is an American spy film spoof motion picture released in 1966 and starring Dean Martin as Agent Matt Helm. It is loosely based upon the novel The Silencers by Donald Hamilton, as well as another of Hamilton's Helm novels, Death of a Citizen. Dr. No is a 1962 British spy film, starring Sean Connery. It is the first James Bond film. Based on the 1958 novel of the same name by Ian Fleming, it was adapted by Richard Maybaum, Johanna Harwood, and Berkeley Mather and was directed by Terrence Young.